There's something about watching a player who's over 100 million power getting zeroed that is just magnetic. It's just so hard to look away. And in this video, we've got all the footage of the rallies, we've got the rally reports, we've even got the gear on the commanders leading those rallies. So stick around in this video for some satisfying zeroing. Hello, my friends, and welcome back. I'm Chisgule Gaming, a sponsored content creator for Rise of Kingdoms, and today you're going to be watching Itachi Jr., who is 127 million power, getting zeroed. If you like Rise of Kingdoms guides that help you get value and smash your enemies, then hey, do me a huge favor and smash that subscribe button for daily Rise of Kingdoms videos. Itachi has almost 50 million dead troops, and they've taken down 323,000, almost 324,000 troops. This is a very impressive account with over 23 billion resource assistance and only 2.5 billion resources gathered. I mean, this is a whale's whale, that's for sure. Here comes the first set of rallies. You see two Edwards. One's Edward Esong, one is Edward Tomyris. Yes, this footage is sped up. Otherwise, this video would have been insanely long. We also have a Saladin. I believe the secondary, if I can catch that, is a Khan. 3 rallies working on this city, 127 million power. You can see that it's Charles Martel, and I believe the secondary is Constantine in this encounter. Now, I really like the Tomyris. The Tomyris is going to elevate the skill damage of everybody who's hit in that city, and there are 2 Edwards, which is really savage. I think Edward Esong is a totally great pair. Yes, if you had every option available to you under the sun, maybe Mehmed will be better than Esong, maybe. But I think what they chose to rally with here is fantastic. And here comes the swarm. And I want to remind everyone that there only can be 10 marches surrounding a city, but, oh, Itachi down to 115 million power. The problem is, look at all these marches sad facing away. Oh, gosh. See, if everybody attacks the city at the same time, 10 marches will hit it, and then the fight will end, and those marches run away, and the new marches keep going to attack it, and then they all die. Oh, God. Happens to the best of us. Okay, next wave of rallies is in. We've got the Edward up top. Let's see if we can catch the secondary. That is, oh, see, that's what I'm talking about. Mehmed. Well, dude, it's like you read my mind. I recorded this earlier this week. A huge thank you, by the way, to Kingdom 1973 for inviting me to record this. Here comes the next set of rallies, and this time we've got 4 rallies. I like it. Man, that's a lot of Edward. There's an Edward Esong. In the south, what do we have? Edward Tomyris. And I assume that is the Saladin Khan again. It is. Really savage. 4 rallies running on this city at a time. And here comes the swarm to steal, oh, those resources, baby. Oh, my. Now, in a situation like this, theoretically, oh, down to 105 million power now. Theoretically, oh, God, rip this player. Theoretically, you could wait until the player is fully zeroed before you try to take the resources. That would be a lot safer. I think the reality is that if you want to snake some of those resources, you're going to have to swarm it at the tail end like folks are doing here, because it's probably going to be out by the time all these rallies are done and have taken their share of the plunder. We've got the 4 rally configuration yet again. I like this configuration. 3 Edwards, Tomyris with an Esong and with a Mehmed. And also the Saladin with the Khan. It's just a lot of damage. The Saladin Khan March can't actually take any loot, but it does 15% extra damage from that 4th skill. So there we go. It's completed. 96.6 million power. I mean, they are chunking this dude down. He has gotten a lot of kills, though, in fairness. And that is because Charles Martel with Constantine is a mighty fine city defense. The Charles Martel is really good at defending against multiple targets because of the extra counterattack damage. The Constantine doesn't have as much of that, which is a little bit of a bummer for the city's sake, but he does have plus 15% attack to all troops and 5% defense to all troops, which is pretty solid. You have all troop types represented in your city. Now, this set of rallies, they change things up. Double Caesars here. Double Caesars and a Joan of Arc. So they're just looking to, A, send some siege units to die, and B, take a lot of resources, I guess, as they do it. I think it's more about siege units, however, and trading a less premium unit for the premium units that the city has, since this player is not online. Now, you may be wondering, Chisgule, wait a minute. Can we talk for a second about why this player is being zeroed? My understanding of the situation is that this player kind of disappeared. They were not in any alliance, and they were taking up space in the kingdom, and they were trying to migrate other players in. Speaking of which, I'll have information about Kingdom 1973 in either the description or I'll flash it up on the screen. If you want to migrate to Kingdom 1973, that contact information will be there. Here comes the next set of rallies, and it's that same configuration. It's that same configuration, although it looks like now instead of the Caesars, so we still have the Joan of Arc, but now we have an Edward Tomyris and a Saladin Khan. I definitely look forward to checking out those reports when we get to that portion. Hopefully we have some of these Joan of Arc reports. I will be very curious to see how those go. Here comes the swarming. I like it. Totally savage. What are they down to? 82 million power. Okay, here comes the next rally. Here it is. Ooh, an Alexander the Great this time. Okay. Alex Esong, 2 Edward primaries, and a Saladin primary. I'm going to assume that's the Saladin Khan again. And the Edward is Edward Esong, Edward Tomyris. I mean, really solid combos for hitting a city. These are very powerful commanders. Mehmed is obviously a commander I really like for hitting cities, but there's not a lot of reason to have Mehmed outside of city hitting. There's 77 million power. He's up to 331 million kills, though. He's getting his fair share of kills, although, you know, probably doesn't care as much about the kills. He'd probably rather have his troops. Here you can see we've got a Barca-led rally, a Caesar-led rally, and that Saladin Khan again. The Barca secondary is Esong. Okay. Caesar secondary is Mehmed. I like that. Other Caesar is, Caesar Mehmed. Here comes the Swarm. Itachi Jr. is now in some serious trouble, down to 68 million power. They're not swarmable yet, but they are at the point where rallies are going to start to be really rapid fire. You don't really need to multi-rally a player like this. In fact, at this point, you're better off staggering the rallies, which is exactly what you're going to see starting now. So we've got one rally going. It's doing its thing. They got some swarming to top it off. That is plenty to take out this city. And then there's going to be some very rapid-fire rallies and swarms that follow this up, which makes a ton of sense. It takes a ton of coordination to pull off a big zeroing like this. Now you see another rally's on its way in. The Saladin Khan is here. I did jump the footage a little bit just a second ago. And it is just melting. At this point, the city is in some serious trouble. Swarming is in. Swarming might be a little early for that. The city defense here is still really strong with the Charles Martel and the Constantine. You're going to lose a lot of siege units, and you can see that happening. You can see that happening, although I get why people are getting in early because they want those resources. It's definitely a trade-off to go start to hit the city sooner for those resources. Although, I don't know, what else are you doing with your siege units, right? Here you can see some folks engage in swarming. I think they decide maybe that's not the best play still. And you got to keep in mind, there's still a top-tier gear, top-tier commanders, max tech city. It's very hard to swarm a city of that power. Even if it's super low on troops and they're like 60 mil, not a great swarm target. Here comes a rally now. This rally, siege. It's a Barca rally. Let's see if it's the Barca Esong again. What do we got? It is Barca Esong. I think that's fine. You know, the Esong, yeah, I mean, you primarily want archers in there. And he doesn't have archers, so maybe there is... Freddy maybe will be better than the Esong, but I think Esong's a fine choice. Here comes the next rally. We've got a Julius Caesar. A lot of siege units in there. Secondary commander is Mehmed. Really exceptional commander. I mean, it's hard to beat Mehmed for hitting cities, quite frankly. Only Attila and Takeda can perhaps inflict more punishment to a city. Those rallies completed, and there should be yet another rally on the way very shortly. And I kept this clip continuous just to showcase how rapid fire these rallies were and the sort of back-to-back nature of what was happening here. So here comes that rally now, and boom, we've got the Alexander the Great primary. The secondary commander is Esong. Really solid. I'm chuckling a little bit because Chisgule Mini is running around the YouTube studio now. Not sure if you can hear her doing that, but okay. There's the swarming. And at this point, this city is a goner. Play the sad music for Itachi Jr. They are about to get swarmed out. And then we'll jump into the reports. You know, I've got to say, if you're going to disappear from the game for any meaningful amount of time, just send a message to your kingdom leadership or even pop a peace shield. Like a 30-day peace shield would certainly do the trick and give you the coverage you need here to not be in this situation where you're getting zeroed. Now, maybe they quit the game. I really don't know more details into this situation other than the fact that they were untagged for a prolonged period of time, not communicative. And this is what happens because the kingdom's trying to migrate in some good players and get a good match for KVK Season 3. So speaking of which, I mentioned that if you wanted to join Kingdom 1973, who's doing this zeroing, that information will be available in the description. You can check that out. Oh man, we'll watch this all the way to the bitter end and then jump to the reports. It's tough to see someone getting zeroed. Here comes the additional rallies, but you can get this many players on board with doing it. Man, tough situation to be in. And this player is just offline. The kingdom had all the time they needed to go and do this zeroing. Sometimes you've got to really hurry. Here, they had the time to execute the way that they wanted. This took place over the course of over an hour for sure. It might have been 2 hours. I was there recording the whole thing. And, yeah, I got a lot of footage. Okay, first things first, let's get a look at the gear these players were using. Here is a Saladin primary. Some epic gear, some green gear. I mean, you know, it's an early kingdom. KVK Season 3 and KVK's pop really fast now. Here we've got the Edward of Woodstock. We can see that they had some epic gear, but not what that gear was. Here we go. This is a rather strong-looking Edward of Woodstock here. Mostly special talented gear. A few pieces not special talented, really great accessories, Delanes, and a silent trial. Very, very nice gear for archers. And we've got, the Julius Caesar gear. Hey, that's siege gear, baby. Dude, siege gear is the truth. Siege gear, if you haven't ever looked at it, I mean, at blue tier, you are getting epic quality stats. It's for siege, I get it, but you can get some really serious stats there. That's really nice. That's some solid gear, and oh, baby, more gear. This Edward of Woodstock, some legendaries over here. We do see the Ring of Doom. Most of the, in fact, every epic is special talented. They have the legendary set weapon as well as the pants that you got from the Lucerne Scrolls. That's really nice, legendary pants there. Also on PJ, we've got, oh man, really nice gear on Alexander the Great. Mostly expertise epics, including, expertise, special talented. Sakura Fubuki, as well as that Delanes. That's really nice. We got a Shio's Return and Eternal Night right over here. Not special talented. I feel your pain. I definitely can feel your pain on that one. And this looks like, another Julius Caesar. So there were multiple Juliuses involved. You can see what they've got here. Here's the Joan of Arc gear. Pretty solid. Pretty solid. Mostly epic. They've got nice accessories going on over here. Silent Trial, as well as the Delane's Amulet. Really nice. And let's get into these reports, baby. So these reports are from 3BBB. Let's get a look here. This is the Saladin Khan rallies. So the Saladin Khan rallies, 76,000 dead for the rally and 153,000 dead for the city, as well as 62,000 going to the hospital. So that's the first battle here. Power loss is just massive, though. Look at that. Almost 400,000 power lost for the rally and 2.2 million power lost for the city. In terms of the composition of the city's defense, we are looking mostly at cavalry, a tiny amount of siege, a solid amount of archers, and a reasonable amount of infantry as well. That's 2.2 million cavalry, 2.2 million archers, and 1.8 million infantry. Really solid. And I did mention that everything is expertise here. You can see the full troop buffs available on the screen. That does include the, I think it's the traitor debuff that they had on their city. 36,000 for the rally and 151,000 for the city. That's 187,000 power loss to the 1.5 million power loss for the city. This Saladin Khan is trading extremely well. And you can see, by the way, it says troops at full load, unable to plunder resources, but actually that's because Saladin's 4th skill prevents you from plundering those resources. Up next, third report, 200,000 power lost for the rally, and 1.6 million power lost for the city. That is a 40,000 loss for the rally and 164,000 loss, wow, for the city. Totally savage. Next rally, here we go. 29,800 for the rally, 144,000 for the city. That is 151,000 power loss for the rally and 1.4 million for the city. I mean, they are really crushing it with these rallies. 18,000 for the rally, 100,000 for the city. That is a 10-to-1 trade by power. 91,000 to almost a million. Power lost for the city. I mean, these are really impressive reports. I might have skipped one or two along the way here. 22,000 for the rally, 129,000 for the city. I guess I'll emphasize that, yeah, these are really good combos. And I don't know if the city has gear on their Charles Martel. Maybe somebody can leave a comment and get a look at the stats and see if that's the case. I think they might not have gear on, which is a big deal. So, and they're not an alliance, which also, maybe that's all it takes. It's just the difference in the alliance tech here. Here is 42,000 for the rally and 189,000 for the city. That's 216,000 power loss for the rally and 1.9 million power loss for the city. Completely savage. I believe we're on to the final report here. There it is. 20,500 to 124,000. 100,000 power loss for the rally and 1.2 million power loss for the city. Again, that city is using full T5, so every time they're losing troops, it's a lot of power. Here is the Joan of Arc Matilda rally. So this did not go as well. It did plunder a nice amount of resources. 128,000 dead for the rally and 106,000 dead for the city. The thing is, by power, they traded positive. 635,000 power lost for the rally. 1.1 million power loss for the city. And the thing is, they're trading siege units. So, yeah, this seems like a great way to get rid of siege and not lose premium troop types. Here's the next report with Joan of Arc, 98,000 to 71,000. And by power, that's 467,000 power to 714,000 power. Trading their siege. I think it's really smart to be trading your siege like that. Up next, Hannibal Barca E-Song, 32,000 dead for the rally. 51,000 dead for the city. 169,000 power loss, and that is 513,000 power loss for the city. And keep in mind that they managed to trade siege, which is a very, very smart strategy. In case you haven't noticed, I'm a big fan of that approach. Here's the next report. 63,000 for the rally and 76,000 for the city. That is 310,000 power loss for the rally and 750,000 power loss for the city. Next report, and this is another Hannibal Barca E-Song, that is 39,000 to 77,000, and that's 176,000 power loss for the rally to 773,000 power loss for the defender. Cruising forward, we do have a scout report. I appreciate that, PJ. Here we go. Resources on the city. You ready for this? 3 billion wood. Look at that. 1.5 billion stone, I guess 1.4, and 7 million food. Whew. Yeah. It looks like they did originally have some T4 and some T1, so those were deleted from the city, and by deleted, I mean hospital overflowed. And they did actually have an even balance of troops at the start of this. They just lost more of their infantry along the way, which is certainly interesting. I guess that's because the infantry had more stats, and because the infantry had more stats, they lasted the longest, and the worst trades happened at the tail end of the fight. I think that's how that goes. Okay, here's the Edward E-Song rallies. 251,000 dead to 449,000 dead. That's 1.4 million loss for the rally, but 6.5 million power. Oh, gosh. Lost by the city. This is one of the very first hits. They also put 210,000 troops into the hospital. Really, really savage. Wow. And, of course, these are, yes, fully special talented commanders. Looking to the next report by PJ, we've got, ooh, I like this. Edward Mehmed, 186,000 to 455,000. That is a 1 million power loss for the rally to a 4.5 million power loss for the city. Now, you may be wondering, Chisgule, well, the report was better, wasn't it? I think in this report, the Edward Mehmed is tanking now. I'm not exactly sure. It could be that the E-Song performs better, although that would certainly surprise me. The next report is Edward Mehmed, 131,000 to 276,000. 577,000 power loss for the rally, 2.7 million power loss for the city. Next report is 296,000 to 364,000. 1.2 million power loss to 3.6. That is a clean 3-for-1 trade. And now we're on Julius Caesar Mehmed. So that's kind of exciting because they are using siege again. 3-for-1 trade with siege seems really amazing. That's what you should use to zero a city. Here we've got Alex Esong, 40,000 just about to 205,000 deads for the city, 185,000 power loss for the rally, and 2 million power loss for the city. The next report that we have is another Alexander the Great with Esong. That is 58,000 dead to 201,000 dead. That's a 311,000 power loss for the rally, 2 million power loss for the city. The next report is Julius Caesar with Mehmed. That is 75,000 dead for the rally and 140,000 dead for the city. They are using siege again, which I think is a really solid play. 306,000 power loss for the rally and 1.4 million power loss for the city. Final report that I see here, Edward Esong, 55,000 for the rally, and that is 435,000 for the city. 366,000 power lost for the rally and 4.3 million power loss for the city. I mean, these trades are insanely positive all the way through. Also, PJ says hello to Skittle and Sif. Nice. They're in Kingdom 75. Let's go, baby. Okay. Edward and Tomyris reports. I'm sure you're interested in seeing this. Edward and Tomyris, 138,000 dead for the rally and 229,000 dead for the city, along with 117,000 put into the hospital. That is 772,000 power lost for the rally, 3.5 million power lost for the city. A solid outcome for sure. This, by the way, might be why some of the other rallies looked really performant, is because you've got the Tomyris debuff. So the Edward and Tomyris is only going to do as good as they do, but the other rallies are elevated beyond what they normally would do because of the Tomyris debuff, if that makes sense. And that is an expertise Tomyris. Wow. Expertise Edward Tomyris is doing some serious work. We look to the next report. Another Edward Tomyris, 34,800 to 133,000. That is 155,000 power lost for the rally. 1.3 million power lost for the city. Savage reports all the way around. More reports, however, on the way. 56,900 to 193,000 for the city. That is 280,000 power loss to 1.9 million. I keep saying the power differential because it's so shocking. The troop numbers are fine. The power numbers are jaw-dropping. 155,000 for the rally, 217,000 for the city. We're now in the realm of the Julius Caesar Mehmed. This is, by the way, a siege rally, and they are even using lower tiers of siege, including T2, but the power numbers tell the story. That is a 4-for-1 trade, 562,000 to 2.2 million. The next report, and we have a lot of these, Edward and Tomyris again, 27,600 to 241,000 savage. 140,000 power loss for the rally, 2.4 million power loss for the city. The next report is Edward Tomyris again, 21,000 to 117,000. 105,000 power to 1.2 million. In the next report, we've got a Julius Caesar with Mehmed. Love the combo. This is 31,600 to 124,000. Not sure if I shared this one already, and this report ended up being in here twice, but really impressive numbers. And you can see, I mean, overall about how these are going. Here's another Julius Caesar with Mehmed. 15,000 lost, not even, to 80,000 for the city. The city is basically gone at this point. That's 50,000 power lost to 805,000 power lost for the city. And here is the next report. We've got another Mehmed hit here. It's the very tail end of things, 2,000 to 12,000. Very cool. Are there more reports? In fact, there are. Here we've got Edward Esong reports, 90,000 to 207,000. That's 416,000 dead to 2.1 million. And by the way, I'm going through all these reports, and hopefully they're helpful, just so you can get a sense of how do these commanders perform, you know? Here we go with Edward Esong again, 82,000 to 172,000. That's 375,000 lost for the rally, 1.7 million power lost for the city. Another rally here. Here's Joan of Arc Matilda, I think we might have seen this already. All in all, I mean, this was an impressive zeroing, and they did some serious work on this city. Yeah, the city got a lot of kills too, in part from the swarmers that were taking place at the tail end of rallies. But otherwise, these rallies were immensely positive. A huge thank you again to 1973 for inviting me to record this. I really appreciate that. If you'd like me to record a major zeroing that you're doing in your kingdom, be sure to message me on Discord and let me know in advance, or you could let me know in-game. We record it, you send me the reports, you send me some screenshots, and I'm happy to turn all of that into a video so that you can commemorate that moment of that epic zeroing for the rest of time living on YouTube. If you enjoyed this video, do me a huge favor, throw a like on here and consider subscribing. This is a longer video. It takes a lot of time to record, literally hours, and then edit, and then, yeah. I appreciate your watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Throw a like on here. And if you're looking for more zeroing, sure, I'll have a couple cards up in the top. Tap that info button for more zeroing goodness to satisfy your thirst for blood. Until next time, you have fun smashing the kingdom.